Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How is everybody doing, man? How is everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, I know it's been a little bit. Hi, mom. Hi, mom. I know it's been a little bit. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. So welcome back. And we're pretty much locked in from here till June, y'all. So from here till June, we are locked in, barring I think it's literally going to be Thanksgiving and Christmas. But aside from those 2 weeks, we are locked in from here until the season concludes. So I'm so happy to be back. I'm so glad to be back. I've missed y'all. Just to sit here and talk basketball with y'all, I missed that. But last week was a ton of fun. We just spent time with family. It was a great time. It was a great time. So anytime you're able to do that, it just puts you in a great mood, and it sets the tone. But while I was away, I was still paying attention, right? I was still paying attention to what was going on in the world of basketball. Granted, while I was paying attention and watching what was going on, I had an old fashioned in my hand, but I was watching nonetheless. Now, I really hope that y'all did not fall for this hype train. Hey, I was sitting back watching it like I could see what they're trying to do. If you are one of the people that got hyped for this upcoming season because Jason Tatum showed up on First Take, because he revealed the Achilles tear group chat that they have going on, the clips of Kyrie Irving, if all of those things are what got you excited for this NBA season, then I got some news for you, brother. You ain't gonna be seeing none of them. Pookie, what's good, Derpy? What's good, Derpy? How y'all doing? How you doing? I hope you didn't fall for this, man. Derpy, please tell me you did not fall for the NBA propaganda that they were trying to push this past week. And listen, I get it. There's waves, right? We can't. At least I don't think so. I don't think it's necessarily smart to lead with the big guns. Did you enjoy? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna put this right here. Listen, where can I put this? Where can I put this? You must really like that movie, bro. Hold on. I'm a text. Hold on. Let me text my girl right now. I'll be like, we gotta watch a movie later. Watch this. I'm gonna get her for the podcast. Listen, man. For my guys, we listen, bro. uh, let's see. Uh, what's because aren't what are the odds? What are the odds we make it in right now? Are we in? Uh, the world's best hitter. Yo, Aaron Judge is on a Alex Rodriguez run outside of the World Series year that he had. He's literally in the same shit as A Rod right now. Um, but but I will say, I'll probably lock into this pretty soon. But listen, man, they tried to get us. I feel like they're trying to get us with. I feel like they're trying to get us with with the NBA stuff. Please don't be fooled, man. I hope nobody's getting fooled with the Jason Tatum stuff. I know Damian Lillard's been posting stuff on his YouTube for the last couple weeks. The Kyrie Irving videos. None of those players are going to play in October, November, December, January, February, or March. Maybe April or May we see one of those guys. Maybe. And so I'm sitting back seeing everybody getting excited because Jason Tatum's in the gym. Like, please, let's. This is how players get more injured, and I don't want to bring up. I don't want to bring up my crash out from June. I don't know if y'all remember. I crashed out when they put Tyrese Halliburton in the game, but that's how players get hurt. Guys are gonna rush to get back. Guys are gonna say that they want to play as soon as possible. Whether they should or should not be decided by them, by us, or the team. It should strictly be decided by the medical staff. So I've been seeing a lot of that. I know they're trying to hype us up for the year. Like there's more important things going on in the world of basketball other than Jason Tatum's recovery. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. And by the way, too, because we're gonna get into the media day stuff. And I saw the reports that they're bringing back those jerseys, right? They're bringing back those jerseys, the black jerseys from the Allen Iverson era. Why wouldn't they just do media day with that is my question. That's what I was very confused about. I'm like, if you guys already have the jerseys, you guys already did like a little photo shoot with the jerseys, why wouldn't you just have media day in those jerseys or have the white version of them on? Like, there's just certain decisions that I don't understand for the life of me, because they had this already, right? Let's see. They had this already. They had the black jerseys on deck. First of all, they Joel Embiid pretending like he about to play. You can't show his knees because he's actually sitting down. Joel Embiid isn't even standing in this photo. He's sitting down, and I bet you his knees are wrapped as we speak in this photo. But yeah, this is I don't get why they wouldn't just lead with these jerseys. Why is Jared McCain bench pressing 2.5 pound plates? Yo, the internet is ruthless, bro. The internet is so ruthless. Honoring Sixers legend. That shit was too heavy on why he didn't lift weights while he was in the NBA. Yo, imagine a version of Allen Iverson that lifted. Oh my God. Probably a little less injuries, and he probably would have been able to take contact even better than he already did. So that's a scary thought in itself. A lot of people talk about, what if Allen Iverson was taller? What if he just lifted? What if he just did the bare minimum in that department? But yeah, I don't understand why they would have these jerseys. And since we're already on Philadelphia, honestly, I think we could probably spend the entire episode and an entire hour on just the Philadelphia 76ers and everything that is going on with this team. Because to be quite honest, it feels as if they are a prisoner of their salary cap right now. Because the more I think about this team, the more I feel as if they have solid pieces that can potentially make something work in the NBA, but because they have two max players in Paul George and Joel Embiid, they obviously have to, one, appease to those guys, but two, a lot of the money that the team will be making, as long as those guys are in a Philadelphia 76ers uniform, will be tied to them, right? So in terms of the branding and the marketing, those guys are going to be the face of the franchise because they have invested so much, right? Someone like a Jared McCain quite literally fell in their laps. And someone who markets and brands himself, who then also puts more eyes on the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm sure they love Jared McCain. I promise you, I know a lot of people probably don't like Jared McCain. I can tell you who does, and that's the Philadelphia 76ers because of what's gone on with the players that they have. So let's take a look at a player that they are still working on getting for the upcoming season.
What more can you tell us?
It's the restricted free agency of Quentin Grimes, and I'm told both of these sides are very far apart on a deal. Quentin Grimes' agent, David Bauman, told me today that it was the first time today that the Sixers made a formal hard offer to Grimes as a restricted free agent. And Bauman added to me that Grimes will not be attending 76ers Media Day on Friday. He also will not be traveling with the team this weekend to Abu Dhabi for preseason. From the 76ers side of this all, getting VJ Edgecombe in the high lottery, obviously that changes the dynamics of their backcourt. And there is a level of uncertainty going into this year, health-wise, with key players like Joel Embiid, Paul George. And where does that leave the Sixers in terms of offering those high-value, high multi-year deals? Where this is really going and where these sides are staring at is that $8.7 million one-year qualifying offer for Grimes, or a sign and trade, or potentially 1 year larger deal where Grimes would waive his no trade clause. But this is really heading down the barrel as we get closer to October 1 of a potential qualifying offer deal.
And there's so many questions that the 76ers had. You alluded to the health piece of all of this. This is not another one that they want hanging over their head, and yet here we are. While we're talking about questions that have not yet been answered this offseason, you all know where I'm going with this.
And this is where this leads me to. Because I think that the Philadelphia 76ers, oddly enough, have 4 players that they could build around. Now, I'm not saying these guys are going to play together on the floor at the same time, but they have 4 players that I genuinely think they could try to build around, or at least in the near future see what these guys are capable of before moving or doing something with them. But again, because of the Paul George and the Joel Embiid contracts, they got their hands tied behind their back. Is essentially what's going on. Grimes, Kuminga, what's good, Bruce? What you think about this situation, man? It's so sad to me because I think Quentin Grimes is a very solid NBA player. This guy has shown an ability to score. He's shown that he can play some defense. Essentially anything that any team has asked of him, he's been able to do. But something that's very consistent is when guys start dropping like flies, he can score the basketball in the NBA. So the fact that he is in this situation, when in my opinion, he should probably start the year off as the starting 2 guard of this team. I get that they just drafted VJ Edgecombe. Plenty of guys don't start the year. Maybe VJ Edgecombe ends the year as the starter. In my opinion, this guy who they're far apart from when it comes to actually signing a deal should be their starting shooting guard. And instead, they're in this situation. Like I said, I think they love Jared McCain for probably all of the wrong reasons because of his ability to market himself and help in terms of selling tickets for the team. But it should be Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain as the point guard, and then Jared McCain as the backup point guard. Those two, plus Quentin Grimes and VJ Edgecombe, in my opinion, that should be their 4. But you got 2 players that they got to constantly appeal to. Grimes will not get paid because he got hurt. He's not getting the contract from the Sixers. The Sixers don't want to be tied to another injury-prone player. I would not give him the money to. I mean, I mean, he has had a few injuries over the years, but I mean, compared to Paul George, though, I mean, you know, I guess to me, it's this situation. The funniest thing about the Philadelphia 76ers, Bruce, and you tell me if I'm wrong in this, right? For as terrible as they are as an organization when it comes to signing players and just players, I feel like they do a terrible job of managing their players and their team. They've had so much talent. Since Joel Embiid and I think Ben Simmons came in before him, right? But, you know, since those 2 guys, they have had so much talent on this team. And those 4 players that I just named, right? Unfortunately, Jared McCain now is out with an injury. But, you know, Maxey, McCain, Grimes, and VJ Edgecombe are yet just more names added to the list of super talented players that have been on the Philadelphia 76ers. Honestly, if you are a highly talented player, I would run from Philadelphia. It seems like nothing good comes out of this basketball team. It really seems like that. And you know, Tyrese Maxey had signed an extension with them, and I was like, God, please, I hope you don't. He was hurt. He was hurt quite a bit last year, also. So this is just one of those weird teams, man. They have all the talent in the world, but 1, they can't stay on the floor, and 2, this team is just awful at managing those guys. Because if you really think about it, these guys probably should have had a ring over the last 10 years or so. Just off of the names on paper alone. I mean, we could list all of them. Not that they were all together at the same time, but obviously Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, James Harden was there, Paul George, obviously, you know, the 4 guys that we just named. And then when it comes to even the supporting cast, they've had Andre Drummond, who's been an unbelievable rebounder in the NBA. JJ Redick was there at one point. I think he averaged like 18 a game for them or some shit like that. Just the list goes on and on. Tobias Harris. They've had so much talent on this team that if they would have just figured a way to manage these guys and just manage this team better, they'd probably have a ring already. But if you refer to a video that I had made, you know, a video I'd made quite a while ago, I truly think that this team is cursed. I truly believe that the Philadelphia 76ers are cursed, and you cannot tell me otherwise. The French guy went to the Knicks. Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'm not completely sold on our front court. Cat is great. I just feel like we could really use a Hartenstein, man. That was a really bad loss. And then my dad's really big on Brogdon. I don't know about you guys, but I mean he's a good player. It's not that he's not a good player. I just don't think I don't know. Maybe this is just me and the way that I look at the game. Because my dad keeps talking about he's essentially going to be the ball handler off the bench, the point guard, after Jalen Brunson. And what I was telling my dad is I've always liked having those players contrast. Right? So Jalen Brunson is this super methodical, he's a small guard. He's really great at what he does. I honestly, I just thought of this right now. We're coming up with shit on the fly. I wish we had just gotten Russell Westbrook instead. Right? A totally different player. Right? Someone that's explosive, athletic. Because Brogdon he's going to do similar things to what Brunson does, right? He's going to use his body. He's a little bit slow, as opposed to someone that can completely change the pace of the game. So that when Brunson comes in, now it's fucking with the other team even more, because now they have to readjust to that style of play that Brunson plays versus a Russell Westbrook, for example. And there are so many, and I feel like we have, so many names that we could just mix and match between our starters and our bench, that some of those worries that people have about Russell Westbrook, which I don't necessarily have, because I think he was phenomenal last year, it could offset some of that. But maybe that's just me. Brogdon is injury prone too. No, he really is. I hope New York Hospitals has a bed for him. Oh no, they'll definitely have a bed for him. I think that's the issue, Bruce. I think that's the issue. They signed him knowing they got a bed for him. But I've just always been really big on that. Like, when it comes to the point guards, at least, I love having parity, right? I love having two guys that do different things, right? Because Brunson isn't gonna athleticism his way to the rim, overpower people, get out on the fast break constantly and try to dunk the ball, right? I think having someone like that would have been really, really nice to have. And even someone like a Deuce, I think that's why it worked out so well, because Deuce was coming in just being different, and I felt like it would catch people off guard. I feel like a Deuce McBride with a Russell Westbrook sounds fire. It sounds fire. I don't know. Or if you got, maybe you don't want to have Russell Westbrook be the first point guard off the bench for whatever reason. Deuce with Clarkson. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I hope the best for my New York Knicks. I do think we still got to address that front court. I think that is an issue that needs to be addressed for sure. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, excuse me. Let's see. Where was this? Where the fuck was it? I wanted to talk about this. Excuse me. Now, a lot of the talk in the past week has revolved around one person, right? And that person is Zion Williamson. He looks completely different. He's lost a ton of weight. Proof that bullying works. And
It's probably the dumbest press conference I ever
let's
heard
see
in my
this.
life. All this stuff is because of you. You choose to eat, be out of shape, all that. Now all of a sudden it's a contract year probably, or he looking for an extension.
No
all of a sudden
vibes.
he in shape, and they believe in me. Fool, they gave you a max deal. They been believed in you,
Yeah.
but they had to put all them options on there because you ain't believe in you. Like that's dumb as hell. That press conference dumb.
He said, hey, they embraced me. It meant a lot.
When they
So we like
embraced
this
you
now.
when they first got here, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he was playing with the church's money for sure.
Yeah,
So
you the one was out of shape.
Yeah, we have been talking about his shape for like too long.
Come on, bro. And
I
you
mean-
decided to like lock in and do what pro athletes do, take care of themselves.
yeah.
Like I ain't, man. Hell no, I'm off that. I ain't a fan.
Bro,
no
we
more.
have been talking about this for like 3-4 years.
Yeah, I'm
bro.
not a
Like,
fan, bro.
Hey,
You are a professional basketball player, bro.
What?
Be
You
hell.
get paid
Ain't not
damn
lying.
near $40 million a year
Yeah.
to be in shape.
That's
And I
all
ain't
you
even
have
trying to
do.
sound like an old head. It's just that like you do
It's
a
true.
press conference and say, "Yeah, I feel the best I ever felt since college."
Yeah.
Like, you choose to feel that way. You could feel.
Jeff was going in. He has a contract diet, and I think Jeff said it right there. He don't want to sound like the old head because a lot of the new generation, a lot of these kids want to, I could do it my way, right? There's a new way to do it. There's da-da-da-da-da. Old methods work too. And in this case, you should have been did this. I was saying this at the beginning of last season. I was off this. Hey, Jeff, I'm glad you could join this side of the. I'm glad you could join this side, because I'm off this. Because for far too long, we're sitting here. Oh my God! What if? Oh, look at Zion when. Like, I'm tired of it. We cannot keep sitting here fantasizing about what your career and what your game could look like if you were in shape when the entire time it was up to you. All of the injuries, all of that is tied to this. None of the photos online of oh, this is a 24-year-old Zion versus a 40-year-old LeBron. None of that was enough. And, it comes to a point where we're the problem if this person keeps doing the same thing and we keep expecting a different result. At some point, we got to do what some of these guys aren't able to do, which is take accountability and say, hey, you know what? It's on me that I get excited every time we see a clip of this motherfucker doing something. Right? At some point in time, these guys need to be held accountable. Right? Even the Luka situation. It took a team trading you without you knowing and calling you fat for 3 months to lose all that weight. And listen, I understood in the sense of Luka was a bad dude regardless, right? Like, he was getting his 35 but that also doesn't mean there isn't a different level. And I think that's the part that for a lot of the average viewer, we're like, God damn, like you only got a little bit. Right? Like you got to do just a little bit more. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. This is crazy, bro. It's not even the same person. It is not at all the same person. But look, man, Zion, I hope you kill, but I'm tired of rooting for it. Like truly, truly tired of rooting for it. There's just, it comes to a point where there's just no point, right? There's just no point. Now, where is this? Is he on women's diet too? Who is?
Grimes.
Who is? Shit. It's not only food issues he has. But listen, Bruce, like, I'm a sensible person. At least I like to think I'm a sensible person, right? You can't have both of them be an issue if you're Zion. You got to pick one, bro. You got to pick one. And guess what? In your line of work, Zion, you got to put the food down. like you can't have both be the problem, bro. You're seeing Anthony Edwards, and he in shape. You see the problems Anthony Edwards got to deal with. He in shape. Let alone someone that got the problems Anthony Edwards has and cannot stop eating. You can't have both ways, bro. You can't have both ways. But we'll see what happens. Listen, I got no faith, man. I feel like let me see. When is the cup? Oh, the cup games are in December, right? No, November, end of November or December is like when the finals are for the Emirates Cup. Yeah, but then I feel like Zion gonna look like his old self. Just give him 2 months. Just give him 2 months, bro. Just give him 2 months. It's all good. But moving right along, because this is, some more news developing when it comes to the Bay Area. So let's listen to what Sean's got to say.
And I may ask you 10 more. Where do things stand?
So Jimmy Butler is actually holding a team function, a team mini camp in San Diego this week. This is the first full year of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler all together. One player that is not there, the only player on the potential Warriors roster that isn't there, is a restricted free agent, Jonathan Kuminga. My understanding is he is not appearing at this team function, this camaraderie mini camp in San Diego. This is still at a stalemate. I spoke to Aaron Turner, Kuminga's agent, today, and he told me the player option still remains critical in these conversations. We know about the 3-year $75 million offer or a 2-year $45 million offer. Both still have team options in them. Him, just like Grimes, has until October 1st before his decision. But these sides still at a stalemate. Jonathan Kuminga did not appear at the first kind of team-related event the Warriors players had today.
I just appreciate that you called it what it is. It's a function. It's not just to get together. It's a function for the goal.
And this has been an ongoing thing quite literally all summer long. And to be quite honest with you, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, right? Because there was all of this talk, right? All of this talk about everything is hanging on the Jonathan Kuminga deal. That's why they haven't signed Al Horford, right? That's why they haven't signed Gary Payton II or DeAnthony Melton. This was the reason for everything. Which goes back to what I said like a month ago. If you're the Golden State Warriors, you've already told Kevin Durant, you are not bigger than us. You have already told Jordan Poole, you are not bigger than us. So why the fuck don't you just double down? Why don't you just double down and say, hey, listen, Jonathan Kuminga is a super talented player. We just don't think he fits. Sign him to that qualifying offer and then shove his ass on the bench. And if you're Jonathan Kuminga, say, hey, guess what? Fuck you, Golden State. Sign the qualifying offer, sit on the bench, and just train all year like a demon. Go next year and ball out. But this little dance that they've been doing for 2 months, I'm tired of it. I'm genuinely tired of it. Can one of y'all grow a pair? Can one of y'all grow a pair? Because what's pissing me off is the Warriors did all of this just to offer him 70-something million anyway. And then Jonathan Kuminga's like, you know what? I don't really fuck with y'all really that much. I don't really like the way y'all treated me. But if you go up, maybe we got something. And that's why they're still communicating. Because otherwise, he would have just signed the deal already. Hey, fuck all that. I'm not going to the Jimmy Butler minicamp. Like, he's showing videos of him training somewhere else already anyway. So, if you're doing all of that, if you're Jonathan Kuminga, what makes you think you're about to go into the season after not going to this minicamp in San Diego that Jimmy Butler's holding and think that they're about to pass you the ball this year? Oh, so because they sign you to a fucking contract, you think the players are going to like the way you've handled it? When they've all come out and said, we're just seeking clarity. Which, by the way, when it's someone like a Jimmy Butler or a Draymond or a Steph Curry is asking, they're not asking for clarity. They're asking, why the fuck are you giving this guy so much time when you got us? That's what the translation is. Hey. Jimmy over there like, did the name on the back of my jersey change? Wait, hold on. Jimmy Butler probably went, hey, my name's still Jimmy, right? Jimmy Butler walking around the arena like, my name is still Jimmy Butler, right? Why the fuck we been talking about Jonathan Kuminga for 3 months? Draymond said, hey, hey, I'm the 4-time. Hey, I'm the 4-time. I punched Jordan Poole and he got traded. Why the fuck are we still talking to this guy? That's what the players, that's what I think they're thinking. I'm sure none of them expected him to show up to this Jimmy Butler thing that they got going on. I'm sure no one expected him to be there. And I'm sure they're not going to want to pass him the ball during the year. So what is the point in all this? Why, if you are Jonathan Kuminga, would you try to get a contract on a team with a bunch of players who you're burning bridges with as we speak? Like none of this makes sense. I need someone in this little dance, whether it's the Warriors or Kuminga, to grow a fucking pair and sign the deal. Sign the qualifying offer, sit his ass on the bench for the year, and everyone just leave this alone. This has gone far too long. If you're the Warriors and you want to be this oh, we're a championship team, we're this, that, oh, we're the premier organization, then stand on it. No player is above you guys. If that's how you want to play it, but don't do this. You trying to act coy, like, hey, fuck that guy. I don't know, but that's just what I think about the situation, because I feel like they have dragged it along for the entire summer, and I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm really sick of hearing about, oh, what's gonna happen with Jonathan Kuminga? Like, nothing is gonna happen. Nothing. Because guess what? Steve Kerr gonna drop a play. Someone gonna blow it up and not give him the ball. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen this year. So, excuse me, just cut the ties. Just cut the ties and play against each other. Now, we can't keep going without pulling this up, even though I kind of shit on it all earlier, but we might as well. We might as well. Kevin Durant giving, showing support to Jayson Tatum. So
Rusty is a motherfucker.
So again, and I'll reiterate what I said earlier. If this got you excited for the NBA, I got a newsflash, y'all. He not playing in October. He not playing in November. He not playing December. He's not playing January. He not playing February. Maybe somebody might pull up in like March or April, but I doubt he plays this year. And they've been trying to set this up for the last couple weeks. There was the reports, I forgot whose wedding he was at. Was it like Bradley Beal's or something? He was at a wedding, and he was at the gym, and they said he looked unbelievable. They said his calf is recovering like no one they've ever seen. And so it feels as if Jayson Tatum and the Boston Celtics have been trying to plant this seed. And again, I caution against it, because ultimately, right? Ultimately, you don't want to rush these guys back. That's how guys get injured. And we've seen more instances of that than someone coming back in record time and being unbelievable. Especially someone like Jayson Tatum. Just take your time, bro. Just take your time. Maybe getting work in. And so to go from one player recovering from an Achilles to someone who has done it, if I had to take a wild guess as to what Kevin Durant is averaging this year, because he's on the Houston Rockets and how much they love analytics over there, I feel like he actually gets more than 27 this year. I think he's a lot closer to 30 by the end of the season. Especially considering, he has a Sengun who's a pass first big, and he just looks, I don't know, he just looks like he's been really training, and he's been really hooping a lot this past summer. So, not trying to put too much on, Kevin Durant, but I I feel like he's about to kill this year, man. I don't know what it is, but I really do feel like he's about to kill this year. And you love to see that because we're seeing guys play better at older and older ages. So if he can have one of his best years this season, that would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal. Let's see what else we got over here. What else do we have? Oh, was this on my liked? Let's see if it is. I think it is what I like. Let's see. I think this is a great topic that we need to just talk about really quickly.
The year y'all beat San Antonio, was that the year y'all beat?
Yes, yeah, we beat San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
anyway, so maybe they beat us in the regular season. I don't remember. So I DM it to Rudy. Hey, Rudy, this must be an AI-generated quote. Because it ain't nowhere in hell you said this. So he hit me back. And, he like, yeah, I said it. You got to have confidence.
I said it.
I said, boy, belt the ass. So left it at that. Then I seen him at Melo at the after party. I said, hey, man. I said, man, what's wrong with you? You're not just going to win the finals because you think you want to win the finals, bro. We would have belted. We had just been in the finals 4 years in a row. We smacking y'all. You don't know how to win in the finals, bro. You just think it's that easy?
Right.
Like, people really think it's that easy. And that's the thing with me when it comes to winning. It's like, yo, stop. No. It's not for everybody. And it has nothing to do with your individual talent and how great you are. Everything has to go right.
Everything. You're right.
For you to win. Like, every break got to go your way. And so, man, stop that. I told Rudy, I said, well, we're going to work together on Amazon Prime. We'll talk about it in the studio. That's what I told him. I said, we'll talk about this in the studio because you lost your damn mind.
I think this is an important topic. I think this is a very, very, very important topic. And here's why. Excuse me. I have been guilty of this at times. Right? Especially with the Tracy McGrady conversation recently on if he would have been with Shaq. And, he was essentially saying that because Shaq was so great, I would have been that he would have been able to fill like a Kobe Bryant role. Right? And he even went as far as to say, he wasn't saying that they would have won 3 championships the way Shaq and Kobe did, but he felt like he was good enough for one. And I think there are a lot of players where when you look at them, they're good enough. And because of that, and because of ring culture, they now have to qualify themselves by saying, I could have won, or I should have won, or I would have won if X, Y, or Z happened. Because there is a disconnect. You can be a very good to great player without having won a championship. I know a lot of people might not feel that way. I know players might not feel that way. But it's a real thing. You could get a ton of love. You could get a ton of respect. Even if you don't win a championship. That's not to say you didn't try or not currently trying. But I think Dwayne Wade really does have a point. Knowing how to win those games is different. Right? And then there's also this part. Knowing how to win and executing to win. Those two things are worlds apart. That's why I like the average Joe online. And I think that's where the disconnect with a lot of players are, right? With the average Joe. When the average Joe says, oh, I could do this, or when they critique the players, right? Because, and a lot of players don't say this, you could be 100% right as the viewer. Executing what you just said is not that easy, right? So, yes, are there players who were probably good enough to be on a championship team, to be a part of a championship team, to even potentially be one of the leading factors of a championship team? Yes. But in actual practice, when you actually have to execute, it doesn't always work out. That's why super teams don't always work out. Because aside from the execution, injuries exist, personalities clashing exists. Do you have a good enough coach? Do you have a good enough staff? Like, all of these factors have a lot to do with winning and losing. And I love the fact that Dwayne Wade just said, like, we were there 4 years in a row. We've lost, we've won. Like, they've done everything at that point. Seen all of the scenarios. Versus a team that is coming in and doesn't even know what's about to happen. I made this mistake a couple years ago when the Boston Celtics went up against the Golden State Warriors, because in that year, on paper, in my mind, the Celtics were a little bit more talented. Had nothing to do with who won the series. Had everything to do with the team that had been there like 5 times already, 6 times, however many it was. On their, en route to their 4th championship. These things matter, right? You can't manufacture those experiences, those moments for these guys, right? When you're down 15 in a game 2 at home, and you lost game 1. Now you got to bail yourself out because you don't want to go to the other team's floor down 2-0. Like, those moments, even if you've been in that situation in the first round, the second round, the third round, in the finals, knowing there's no other games, it's a different thing. Guys tighten up. You could see it in the game. Guys tighten up. Guys are missing coverages. Guys are just watching. Because the moment is big for some people. And, I think that's why the champions talk the way that they do, because they know and understand. So when they have those arguments and comparisons, it's a little more comparable. But to Dwayne Wade's point, for you to say that and you have never been there is a lot. And I think, that's where we've come to. And to me, it's beautiful because it really shows, to the guys in the NBA that you can't talk about it because you don't know what you're talking about, or you be saying dumb shit. Y'all do it too. Y'all retire and do it too. So we are not that far apart in reality, right? And I think that's what that just showed. But you got to give a lot of respect to Dwayne Wade. One, for articulating himself in a way that I think was where he gassed himself, but also wasn't trying to minimize what Rudy Gay is or what that team did, right? He just very shortly said exactly what it was, right? And so I appreciate him for that, because I think oftentimes things get lost in translation. People say things and things get misconstrued. People take things the wrong way, offensively, and I think he said that in a way where Rudy Gay, the person and the competitor, could completely understand where he was coming from. And it's still all respect, right? It's still all respect. And so I appreciate Dwayne Wade for being able to do that, because I don't think a lot of people would have been able to do that. And honestly, he's had to defend himself a lot recently. I don't know what's gone on with Dwayne Wade's career, but he's had to defend himself a lot recently, and I hope he doesn't. And it's unfortunate, because he was unbelievable, and I think a lot of people forget. I think some people look at him in those LeBron years as obviously a sidekick, but I think a lot of people look at him like he was averaging like 15 points per game. And that just wasn't the case. 2012-13, he averaged 21 through the regular season. 15 through the playoffs. Let's see the year after that. 2011, 2012. He averaged 22 in the regular season, 22 in the playoffs. So, Dwayne Wade, I think a lot of people forget how good he was, but unbelievable. But we're back, y'all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. As always, y'all are the absolute greatest. Thank you, Mom, for coming in. Thank you, Derpy. Thank you, Bruce. I really appreciate everybody for coming in and hanging out. I appreciate it. I missed y'all. Y'all are the best. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. I will see y'all later. You have a great rest of y'all day. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Wednesday. You have a good one. Peace.